Thanks you for clicking on this video. I am a student of English literature. This is my story. I want to tell you about my life in London. It is a beautiful day of summers. I am traveling on a train. Two women are on the train with me. The women are sitting opposite me. They are speaking English. I don't understand much. I am studying English, but I am a beginner. I don't know many words. I began speaking to the women. I said some words in basic English. The women understood what I wanted to say, and that made me happy. I said that I want to learn English. The women told me that they are from England. They are going home from a conference. Our conversation was 10 minutes long. The next station was my station. Said goodbye. The women gave me their address and phone number. They told me that I can visit them in England. Then we said goodbye. After this meeting, I worked on my English every day. I translated texts and watched films in English. In 6 months, my English was improved. It was good now, but I wanted to learn more. I went to London. I wanted to study English from London. When I was in London, I joined school. My first lesson was on Monday. I met my teacher and other students in the class. My teacher was a young and fine lady. She was very nice and humble. We introduced ourselves and then proceeded with the lesson. Our teacher has a question for us. She wanted to know our general knowledge about the language. Our teacher told that she can teach through a very effective method to learn English. This method was very simple. Our teacher tells us that we would not have to study. We won't have to read textbooks. But we would have to use English a lot in our daily lives. Turned out very effective for me. I did not like studying from the textbooks because they confused me. Then we spoke about what is important when we learned a new language. Our teacher told us language is a purpose and a mode for communication. We need languages to communicate. Languages help us to express ideas and thoughts. So when you learn a new language, the best method is to use the language to express our feelings and to communication with other people as well. And this is what we will do in our course. We will speak and make use of English language a lot. Many students try to remember new words. They also study grammar rules. And these students don't use English for speaking. They study about the language, but they don't use the language. There is a difference. Of course, you need to learn new words in grammar, but you don't have to study them. You need to practice them on daily basis. In this course, I wanted to show a very simple and effective method on how to learn vocabulary and grammar. I like what our teacher says. Our lesson continues. We spoke about our hobbies and what we like to do in our time. We spoke in pairs or with our teacher. I enjoyed taking classes. I am really happy. This system of learning turned out to be very good and effective for me. Chapter 2: How I Learned Vocabulary. I went to school on Tuesday again. One of the students asked the question which was interesting for me. She asked, what is the best way to learn new words? Our teacher told there are many things you can do to learn new words. I will tell you what is statistically the most effective way for learning new words. It is reading. When people read, they learn new words of their language. They learn twice as fast as people who don't read. It is good to read for at least 30 minutes every day. I want to show you what you should do if you want to get the maximum profit from reading. First, it is very important that the book or text which you read is interesting for you. It is important that you enjoy reading the book. The book can be a nice story, or it can be fictional or non-fictional. Whatever your interest is for the book. Don't read the text which isn't interesting for you. When you don't know many words, you can get frustrated. You always want to enjoy everything you do while using the language. It is effective to choose a text which is interesting and also okay for your level. When you read the text and you see a word which you don't understand, you should take a dictionary and find the word in the dictionary. Then you would look at its meaning. This will make better understanding of the text, and your knowledge for the text will be increased. You won't have to write the word anywhere. The word will automatically get locked in your brain. And you will always remember its meaning wherever you will see this word again. Every time when there is a new word for you, you will do the same. Reading also has another great advantage. When you read, you learn new words, and you also learn how each word is connected to other words in the sentence. See how to link the words correctly. This way of learning new words is very effective. Try it and you will see how fast you can learn new words. Then we continue with the lesson. We speak about the situation in England and about the best jobs for students. This is good for me because I want to get a job. I want to do something in my spare time after school. I asked other students if they know that from where I can find a job. They told me that I should go to a job center. The job center offers a lot of jobs, especially for students. This is good for me. I am happy that I know from where I can find a job. When my day at school was over, I went to the job center. I did not know what job I could do, so I asked the lady at the job center what is the best job for a student. The lady told me that they have some good jobs for students. She told me that I can be a cleaner or a waitress in a cafe. I told the lady that I have no experience with these jobs. She told me that my English is good enough to work at the cafe. The training was not difficult and I can have more chances to speak English than being a cleaner. She told me that I can start my job on Thursday. It is all good for me. I am happy that I have a job where I can practice English. When you want to learn new words, effectively read for 30 minutes every day. On Wednesday, I went to school again. There is one student in the class who is more quiet than the others. He is from South Korea. When our teacher asked if we had any questions for her, this student from Korea said that he has a question. He said that he has a big problem with pronunciation. He knew that his pronunciation is not very good, but you did not know how to improve it. He doesn't speak much because he doesn't have others to listen to his bad pronunciation. He said that he reads and watches films in English a lot. He understands very well, but he also wants to improve speaking. He asked if there was something he could do to be better at pronunciation. When my teacher heard this, she said, "Okay, I will tell you something about pronunciation and how to practice it. I will also teach you techniques which can help all of you to become better at pronunciation." First, we have to look at why students have problem with pronunciation. When we speak, we have to move our mouth. We have to use muscles in our mouth. We all do that. The problem is that when you speak English, sometimes you use your muscles the same way you would use them in your native language. Then your pronunciation is different from the pronunciation of native speakers. This happens to many students. Students to learn English, almost everybody has a little different pronunciation than they should have. In fact, it is not a big problem. Because usually people understand what you want to say, even if your pronunciation is not perfect. However, you can work on your pronunciation and make it better by a great technique which can help you a lot. The name of this technique is shadowing. The technique is very simple. When you do shadowing, you simply copy the sound which you hear. When children learn their first language, they learn it by copying. They copy after their parents again and again. And one day their pronunciation becomes perfect. If you can learn English pronunciation the same way, this is what you can do. You take some videos or audios recording which is not very fast and which you can understand very well. You listen and you copy what you hear when you hear it. That is all. For example, when you watch a movie, you can choose a character and copy the character when they speak. This way you can improve your pronunciation and you can also improve your speaking very fast. Our teacher played us an audio recording and we tried shadowing. I liked it. I will try it at home. I think it is a very good technique. After school, I went to my new job. It is a small cafe. I will be a waiter here. My boss is a friendly man. He showed me how to take orders and how to bring coffee to the tables. He told me that I can start tomorrow. I am happy. I think this will be a very good opportunity for me to practice my English. On Thursday, I started my new job. I was nervous but also excited. I wanted to do well. I wanted to speak English with customers. At first it was difficult because I did not know all the words. Some customers spoke very fast. But I tried. I said, "Sorry, can you repeat please?" And most of the people were kind. They repeated slowly. I understood and wrote the order. My boss told me I did well. I was happy. I think I will learn much more English here. After work, I went home and listened to the audio recording again. I tried shadowing. It was fun. On Friday we had school again. Our teacher asked if we had any questions. One student asked how to improve speaking fluency. Our teacher smiled and said this is a very good question. Many students want to know how to speak fluently. I will tell you about one more effective technique. It is called thinking aloud. The idea is very simple. You speak to yourself aloud about what you are doing or what you are thinking. For example, when you are cooking, you say aloud what you are doing. I am cutting tomatoes. Now I am putting salt. When you walk on the street, you can say aloud what you see. There is a bus. That woman has a red bag. You can do this every day. You don't need anybody. You only need yourself. This is very powerful because you practice English all the time. You don't have to wait for another person. You can train your brain to think in English. This helps you to be faster and more fluent. I like this technique. I tried it when I went home. First I felt strange speaking to myself. But after some minutes it was fun. I spoke about everything I did. I think this will help me. On Saturday I went to play football with my new friends. They are also students from my school. We spoke English during the game. It was a good practice. After the game we went to a pub. We spoke more. I felt good because I could understand almost everything. I also spoke a lot. I think my English is improving every day. On Sunday I rested. I read a book in English. It was interesting. I looked up new words in the dictionary. I remembered them easily. I think reading really helps. In the evening I watched a movie in English. I tried to shadow some dialogues. It was fun and also useful. This week was very important for me. I started to use new techniques. I started my new job. I met new friends. I feel more confident. I believe that my English will become very good if I continue like this. On Monday again school started. Our teacher asked us how our weekend was. I told her about my job and my practice. She was happy and told me that I am on the right way. She also told us that we should not be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are normal and natural. Mistakes are not a problem. They are opportunities to learn. She told us that every mistake shows us what we need to practice. She said that if we never make mistakes, it means we are not learning. I liked that idea. It made me more relaxed. After class I spoke more with my classmates. We laughed and practiced together. I felt comfortable. Later that day I went to work. I was less nervous than before. I spoke to many customers. Some of them asked me questions about my country. I answered and they were interested. Felt proud. I also listened to them carefully. I think listening is also very important. I noticed that my listening is improving because of this practice. At home I continued my thinking aloud practice. I spoke about everything I did. I also spoke about my dreams and my plans. I imagined my future. I imagined myself speaking English fluently. I felt motivated. On Tuesday we learned some new vocabulary in class. Our teacher gave us many examples. She told us to make our own sentences. I wrote my sentences. Then I said them aloud. This helped me remember. In the afternoon I had work again. I had to take many orders. I spoke more quickly. I made less mistakes. My boss told me that I am improving. I was happy. At home I listened to music in English. I tried to understand the lyrics. I wrote down some sentences. I repeated them aloud. It was good practice. On Wednesday our teacher told us about journaling. She said that writing every day helps us to organize our thoughts in English. She told us to write a diary in English. I started that evening. I wrote about my day. It was interesting. I think journaling will help me a lot. On Thursday I continued my diary writing. I also read it aloud. It was like practicing both writing and speaking. In class we practiced conversations. We worked in pairs. I spoke with my classmate Maria. We asked each other questions. We answered and corrected mistakes. It was very helpful. Later at work I spoke even more confidently. I noticed that customers smiled at me. They understood me well. That gave me motivation. At home I watched an English documentary. I learned some new words. I wrote them in my notebook. I tried to use them in sentences. On Friday our teacher gave us a small test. It was about speaking. Each student had to speak for 2 minutes. I was nervous at first. But then I remembered my practice. I spoke slowly and clearly. I used the new words I had learned. My teacher said I did well. I was very happy. That evening I met my friend. We went to a cafe. We decided to speak only in English. It was difficult sometimes, but it was also very fun. We laughed a lot. I realized that speaking English can be enjoyable. On Saturday I had more free time. I read an English book. I also wrote in my diary. I practiced pronunciation with a mirror. I repeated sentences. I looked at my mouth and expressions. corrected my mistakes. I also recorded my voice again. I listened carefully. I heard my improvement. I was proud of myself. On Sunday, I reviewed the whole week. I saw that I had practiced every day. I saw that I had improved in many ways. My speaking was better. My listening was better. My confidence was higher. I realized that patience and practice are very important. I promised myself to continue. I also decided to set new goals. Next week I want to learn 20 new words. I also want to speak at least 30 minutes every day. I will keep my diary. I will also continue my job practice. I feel strong and motivated. I know that my English will become fluent. On Monday I started a new week. I felt more confident than before. I greeted everyone in English. My teacher noticed my progress. She told me to keep working hard. That made me very happy. I realized learning English is like a journey. Every day is a small step. Small steps create big progress. I also learned that mistakes are normal. Mistakes are part of learning. I should not be afraid of mistakes. I should learn from them. My classmates also encouraged me. We helped each other. We corrected each other. We supported each other. I felt like part of a family. English connected us. We came from different countries. But English helped us understand each other. That was very special for me. I also understood that English is not just grammar. English is not just vocabulary. English is communication. English is expression. English is sharing ideas. That changed my attitude. Felt more relaxed. I felt more motivated. I told myself, I can do it. I continued my reading. I continued my writing. I continued my speaking. I continued my listening. I used every chance to practice. At work, at school, at home. Everywhere I tried to use English. Every day I became better. Every week I felt progress. I was proud of my effort. I believed in myself. I promised myself never to stop. My dream is to become fluent. My dream is to study more. My dream is to teach others one day. I know it will take time. I know it will take patience. But I am ready. 'Cause I learned one thing. With hard work, anything is possible. With practice, English becomes easy. With confidence, you can achieve goals. I will continue my journey. I will never give up. This is my story. This is how I learn English.
Thanks for watching PastQuest. If you enjoyed the journey into history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the past. See you in the next quest.